Hello and welcome to this taste challenge. Hello and welcome to this taste challenge. We have two 40% alcohol VS brandies. That means they're aged 2 to 4 years. And one is not cheap and one is very cheap. So this is the cheap one. This is 1889 Royal VS brandy. So Royal Brandy VS, I think it really was introduced in 1889, but under a slightly different name. It was, see if it'll focus. It was called Old California Brandy since 1889. I looked at the trademark 1915, and I looked at an ad from 1915, and it was saying, there it is. It went in focus. It was saying that Old California Brandy since 1889, and then I think what happened was they started bringing in brandies that were not necessarily from California, so they can't use that designation anymore. So you just change the name to Old 1889 Brandy. And if you look at the back of the bottle, it says Old 1889 Distillery, Bardstown, Kentucky, Heaven Hill. That's Heaven Hill. It's owned by Heaven Hill today. Burley Sullivan says, you. Same to you. Now here's a newer edition, not 1889, not 1989, but 2018. And this is Ciroc, which is famous for vodka. A lot of different Ciroc vodkas. You might see Puff Daddy drinking it, but French brandy, they make a brandy. Now you say, why would a vodka company make brandy? That's a little weird. Well, it's not weird when you read about Ciroc, because Ciroc makes grape vodka. Okay, they don't make grain vodka or potato vodka. They make vodka from grapes. So they just take the grapes, make the wine, then they distill it into brandy. Brandy means, it's a Dutch word, means burnt wine. Burnt wine. And there is a town and a creek in Pennsylvania called Brandywine Creek. And that's the old name for it, Brandywine. But now they've just been shortened to brandy. Okay. So $17.99. It's funny, really. $17.99 for this handle bottle. Big, huge bottle for $17.99. And it tastes about $10 too expensive. All kidding aside, it's not a joke. It's a glass bottle at least, but the flavor is like, it is a mess. Now, Ciroc's about $31 to $35. You might pay $36, but you could, I would look around, see if you could find it for about $32, $33. I paid $31.99, but oh no, let me take that back. I bought this at Savannah Discount. They had it for $29. So I bought it because I knew $29 was cheap. And I never saw it that cheap. So, I mean, cheap for this, not cheap, but you know what I mean. No, I mean. So I'm kind of surprised they never bothered coming out with a VSOP or an XO. I guess they're satisfied just to sell the VS version, aged 2 to 4 years. I see it at Walmart. Well, I see it everywhere. Wooden cap. Ooh. Real cork, not rubber. Real cork. Particle board cork, though, you know, the little pieces pressed together. Imported by Ciroc Distilling Company, Norwalk, Connecticut, but that's Diageo. They're owned by Diageo. They were not bought out by Diageo. It was just started by them. They own the distillery in France. Diageo is a British company, though. But yeah, so yeah, I've been enjoying it. There's no way it's going to lose. It's not possible. Dark brown. Does it have coloring added? Possibly. These things usually, not usually, but Well, I guess it is usually. You have caramel color added. Now the Royal VS. After you taste it, you might call it Royal BS, but I'm not going to say it has a bad flavor. It does not have a bad flavor, but I would call it highly improper. I'm thinking this did not taste like this in 1889 or 1899 or 1909, but Heaven Hill just bought it simply to have. This is too bright. This light is too bright. Let's see if I can bring it down a little bit. Oh yeah, that's a lot better. Well, we know it's got a lot of brightness to it. Maxwell says, "Hey Ron, hello to you, Maxwell." Maxwell has joined us on some of our videos before. Live from Moscow. Okay, Moscow. All right. So appearance is similar. This one's lighter. This is the 1889. It's lighter. This one's darker. I can't go too long because we're going to do our beer hangout in a minute, our beer examination. Brown ales. I don't think David's going to join because I think he's got to go to Knights of Columbus meeting. Now, what other, I go to Knights of Columbus meetings too, but we have them on different nights because we're in two different towns. So they do a different night. But he might surprise me and join. Let's see. What other inexpensive brandies did Heaven Hill have? Now, you know, they have some more respectable, if you want to call them that, like Christian Brothers and the Christian Brothers Sacred Bond, bonded brandy, bottled and bond. But let's see, they got 1889, which I have now. Aristocrat, which I've never had. Aristocrat Reserves, light brandy. Oh, that's only 60%. That's not a true brandy. It has to be at least 40%. That's just a brandy product. They would call that a brandy specialty, but some people might want it that low. DeVille brandy, I've heard of it. DeVille, hadn't seen it. Coronet VSQ, I've heard of Coronet. Apparently, it used to be really popular. I saw old advertisements for Coronet, and it was also, wasn't that a Dodge car, a Dodge Coronet? J. Babbitt, I believe I've heard of J. Babbitt, but never seen it. And that's it. That's all they make. Now, for cognac, which is a special type of brandy, they have Ansac. I've had Ansac. Ansac Black Knight, not had that. Ansac VS, that's the one I had. Yeah, I didn't have the Black Knight. I don't know what that is, but I'd be curious to try it. Oh, you know what? I didn't have Ansac. I had Salignac. Sorry about that. Salignac. Salignac brandy. Yeah, that's the one. Salignac. Okay. Doesn't smell like much. A little bit of grapiness, wine. Yeah, liquor. You know, smells all right. Caramel. More caramel. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Get ready. Get ready for trouble. Oh, I can't ever get, I forgot it's 3 strikes on that to the highest setting. Okay, let's go with the taste. Cheers. Well, that's clearly not the 1889 because it doesn't taste like vanilla extract. It tastes like oak, grape skins, grape leaves, grape grappa, like the pomace, like the guts of the grape, the what they call it, the pulp, the pulp. Yeah. So I would rather drink this than grape juice. I don't like juice. Something about juice just, I used to like it when I was younger, but now juice just like, ooh, it's like too sugary or something. I don't know. I don't even like fruit. I never eat it. Somebody gave me a big bag of oranges. I brought them to work. Everybody ate them, but I was like, I don't want to eat this. I guess I like bananas. They're kind of like not fruit. They're like a starch. But yeah, I don't know. Something about it. Maybe I'll get back to fruit one day. KS, any recommendations on a good starter brandy? Would like to try a 100 milliliter bottle this weekend. A starter brandy, like something basic that's not going to get you too like feeling funny about it. Why not? Why not just start with one of the basic products? I mean, that's everywhere. Paul Masson, everybody sell that. Christian Brothers, everybody sells that. And then you could get E&J Gallo VS. Those are the very smooth, the VS, but they're really not very smooth. They just call it that. They're really like very standard. That'll give you the general idea. Christian Brothers, Paul Masson. What I just said, Christian. Oh, E&J, Ernest and Julio Gallo, E&J Gallo, E&J. They call it E&J. And that's not going to put you back too much money, really. Now you can find Hartley, also from Sazerac, because they own Paul Masson now. They bought Paul Masson from another owner, but they were already making it for them anyway. They may as well have bought it, or they were at least aging it. Hartley, well, I mean, you probably could find it. It does sell. I mean, people do buy it. It does have a following, but Hartley could be a little peculiar, to say the least. But you could try it. You might want to compare it. It's a little, woo, little strange, little not that good. That's what I'm trying to say in a nice way. But it has been on the market 80 years. And they use Italian brandy in it. It doesn't say Italian brandy. It said made with Italian brandy. Probably are mixing it with some cheap American brandy. But yeah, I mean, you could try it. The worst you could do is hate it. Maybe you'll like it. Like I said, some people liking it. They like it. It sells. Hey Ron, good to see you again, says Butch Willie. You too, Butch. This thing tastes like vanilla extract, and it is a joke, and it's not a good joke. It's a bad joke, and I got a bad deal on it. Now you're saying, what are you talking about? You only paid $17.99 for that huge glass bottle, and it is a nice glass bottle. I agree. It's not a bad price, and it's a big glass bottle, but the flavor is a joke. Thanks. Maybe I'll try to get 3 different brands in the 100 milliliter bottles. Yeah, you see, because I know Mathern's has the 50 milliliter. Now, 50 milliliters is a little too small because, like, by the time you start tasting it, it's all gone. And I've done a lot of 50 milliliter bottles for different products, and it's like, oh man, this is good. Now, the second sip, oh, this is interesting, but then it's gone. So you don't have any kind of, it doesn't give you a chance to really, like, work with it. You would never get drunk with it. I mean, it's so small. But even 100 milliliters, but it doesn't give you enough workable product. When I was on the airplane coming back from Alaska, they had this brochure about, oh, you could order liquor. I had no interest in that, but I'm looking through it. And I was like looking at it like stunned, like, they got to be kidding. These people must be joking. They had Jack Daniels. You could get a 50 milliliter bottle for $8 or Jameson for like $9. Johnny Walker Red Label for $12. I said, who in the world would be that much of a drunk, an alcoholic, a problem drinker, whatever you want to call it? Who in the world could have that bad of a problem that you're going to pay $8 for a 50 milliliter plastic bottle of Jack Daniels. That's impossible. For me, I would never do it. I drink water. They give you water on the plane for free, or milk or tea or coffee. You think I'm paying that kind of money? I got an answer for you. Never. It's impossible. Then I'm coming back also, and the lady's like, I said, do y'all have beer? Oh yeah, because I couldn't really understand quite what the price, and there was some confusion a little bit. I said, oh, you have the IPA, Goose Island. Not, yeah, Goose Island. She says, oh yeah, we have that. I'm trying to think, it was Elysian, but it wasn't Elysian, it was Goose Island. I said, it's $8. $8 for one can. Like, I'm gonna pay that. Like, I'm really gonna pay that. Like, no, I don't think so. I can get a whole 6-pack at Walmart for $9.99. So she says, or $9.49. So she says, oh well, don't worry about it. She said, because the machine, my little, the scanner for the credit card, she says, not even working. I said, no. She said, you could just have it. I'm not going to tell them, no, I don't want it. Oh, no, I don't want a free beer. Never mind. I said, oh, well, thank you. And then my friend David was like, you didn't give her a tip? Like, I don't think they can take cash. I mean, guess they could, but I feel funny, on a plane. Like, I don't know. I don't know how to react on a plane. They just kept giving us these same cookies, though. These same, those ones from Europe, that cookie butter stuff. They were all right. Actually, they're very good. They're excellent. But after a while, you get kind of like you don't want to taste another one. But yeah. But no. Okay. Ibanez says that's a hell no. Yeah, I mean, like, I'm not paying that. Make mine tap water. Laughing out loud. Free beer is the best tasting beer. I thought it was really good, but I liked it on its own anyway. But for free, coming back, heading across Louisiana into New Orleans. Yeah, it was really good. And it was very bitter. Like I was saying, this beer is not what people say. Like, people will say, it's not that bitter. It has no character. They're stupid. It's a terrible beer. Goose Island. I'm like, no, it's none of those things. It has character. It has bitterness. It has everything I want. Hi, Ron. Good to see you live. Thanks, Gabriel. Gabe. All right. So let's finish this off, because this is a tragedy. This is a tragic kingdom. I mean, Gwen Stefani, wouldn't you? All right. So good. Oh, so very good. Now, I mean, if you really want to try brandy, and you really want to start with a good start, don't play around with Parmesan. Don't play around with E&J. Don't play around with Christian Brothers, although I like all three of those. I'm not saying I'm against them. But for real, get something. I mean, get Ciroc. I mean, you say, oh, no, it's $35. What if I hate it? I don't think you're going to hate it. You're not going to hate it. I cannot see that happening. I don't see that you could hate it. But maybe you would. But, I just thought, man, this is so well done. It's from southern grapes from southern France, probably close to the Mediterranean Sea. Southern French grapes, aged in French oak for 2 to 4 years. Probably more like, well, that's probably about 3 years. But yeah, it's woo-wee, yummy. Now this thing here, this thing. Hey, but I bought it. Nobody made me buy it, but oh, a vanilla creamsicle. Hey, look, it doesn't even taste like it's got alcohol in it. I think I got scammed. I don't think it has any alcohol. They're saying it's 40%. I think it's 0%. Like, honestly, it tastes like they just put vanilla extract and they watered it down to get a consistency of like liquor, and they fooling people. But that'd be a big news story, wouldn't it? Major liquor company gets in trouble for selling sugar water with no alcohol, claiming it has alcohol in it. Well, I guess it'd be safe for driving. But I mean, it just tastes like vanilla extract and nothing else. And when I first reviewed it on its own, now remember, when I do these in isolation, it's a different experience because you're not tasting it with anything else. So when I tasted it on its own and did a solo review, and you can look at my records and see that I was pleased with it. Although I did find it was strange, but now putting it into taste challenges, it'll never win. It has not won a challenge. It is 0% success rate, and I got a whole huge bottle of it. Well, ooh. If you put in coffee, you wouldn't need to add sugar. No, just a little cream or coffee. I mean, cream or milk. Oh, that thing is a mess. That is a mess. I'm telling you, I think I'd rather drink Hartley. Hartley's a little rough, but at least it tastes like grapes, like brandy. No Wildcard Wednesday tonight, says David Cassidy. No, no. And in fact, the topic tonight is brown ales. So I'm gonna get off of this, and then we're gonna start up again soon. We're gonna do brown ales. I have a brown ale from Louisiana, which has been on the market for like 30 something years, and might have been 94, 29 years, but I drank it first time in 96 and I was amazed by it. You know, at first it was like, I thought it was so harsh, but I knew I'd get used to it. So I said it tastes like shellac, but I knew I would get used, but I never drank that because that's like what you use to put on a flooring. But you know, it just seems so exotic to me, but I still said, oh yeah, I'm going to keep trying this stuff. I just have to get acclimated. Everything doesn't need to taste like Schlitz Light. And so then I really started liking it. And now I love it. Tommy Carroll says, cheers, Louisiana Liquor Reviews brings down House of Sazerac. House of Sazerac? Well, we're not doing Sazerac tonight. Okay, David Cassidy says, clinking the mugs, clinking the mugs. So Heaven Hill gets destroyed. And I really hope that other stuff that they sell doesn't taste like this. Let's hope this is an isolated case. Because if I bought that other stuff that they make and they have like 5 different brands and it all tastes like this, oh, I'd be hot. But I wouldn't get burned but once more. Because if I bought another one and it was the same thing, tastes like vanilla extract, I'll never get burned again. Not from Heaven Hill. But Ciroc is the real deal. That's legit. That is legit. And I would highly recommend that. That's a real good product. All right, well, thank y'all, and let me go set up this. Thing because I haven't set it up yet. So get that thing going, and we should be back in about 14 minutes. About 14 minutes. All right, see y'all then.